to another yoga studio. I'm Kat, for those of you who haven't joined me on the mats before, and it's lovely to have everyone joining me for this class today. So today's class is yoga that can be done in a tiny space. If you want to try this out and you haven't got a tiny space and you've got full room for your mat, then obviously you can join in and you can use as much space as you have and you need. If you are in a tiny space, then you're just going to make the most of what space you've got. You can make it smaller than me if you need to, or if you've got a little bit more room, then I've sort of allowed myself by folding my mat in half, then obviously you can take a little bit more room if you've got it. It's just an opportunity to explore our yoga without kind of thinking we need to be on a full mat. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to get started. Obviously, if you know you need blocks or straps or anything like that to help you access the poses, then grab what you need and we will get ready together when we are organised. All right, so if you have everything you need, we're going to come into a suitable or comfortable position to sit in on the mat. So remember, if you don't like cross-legged position, you don't have to sit in a cross-legged position. We can take a loose cobbler's diamond shape or kneel. And if it's just the hips aren't too happy today, then grab a cushion, grab a book, grab a block, something that you can sit on to make your life a little bit easier to focus on the breathing. When you're ready, then just lengthen up through the spine and relax the shoulders. We're going to bring the hands onto the thighs or onto the lap. Close your eyes if that feels okay. And just tune into the breath. So remember, as we kind of think about our breathing here, remember it's not the poses that make our yoga, it's that working with the breath. So it doesn't matter how you move and how you stretch. If your space that you're in at the moment doesn't allow you room to do what you think you would normally do in a yoga class, and that's what you think your yoga is, just explore some alternative moving and stretching. But if by combining and tuning into the breath, bringing that union between the mind, the body and the breath, we make that yoga happen. So we're just going to take 3 more big breaths in. Feeling the movement in the belly and the chest as we take one last breath. And then when you're ready, opening the eyes if you feel ready to do so. We're going to drop the chin to the chest. And as you breathe out, roll the head around to the right. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, we bring the chin to the chest and you take it round to the left. Breathe in on the left side. And then breathe out, come back round to the right. So we're just moving forwards and backwards, or side to side with the head, introducing that movement through the top of the neck, top of the spine. Take one more roll to either side. And then bring your head into the middle. And we're just going to take some seated cat stretches. So as you breathe out, tuck the tailbone under, round back through the spine. As you breathe in, lift the chest. So if you need to do this with the knees bent in front of you, we can do exactly the same thing there. rounding and arching through the back. And then come back into the middle. And we're going to try and find an easy seated pose if we can, or again, find your cobblers, your diamond pose if you prefer. If you're coming into easy seated, we're bringing the left leg in with the right leg in front. Sit nice and tall, and as you exhale, take a twist to the left. See if you can look over the left shoulder. Take some nice big breaths in here. Making that twist as big as we can. And then come back into the center. Reaching the right arm up, breathe out, lean over to the left. So if you've got a little bit of room to stretch the left hand out to the side, go for it. And sometimes when we are in sort of like a small space, we actually find we have to wriggle around, move around that space so that we can find the fullest, the biggest expression of our pose that our space allows. Good. Breathe out, twist, and just allow the head to drop towards that left knee. Push back into your right hip. And again, if we've got a bit of space, we can stretch the fingers out in front. Otherwise, if you need to keep it in a little bit closer, then that's great. Come all the way back up to sitting. Plant the right hand down on the floor. Reach the left arm up and over as you tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. See if you can just bring a little bit of extra pressure through the side of the head, pushing the head to the side. And then as you breathe out, round the chin to the chest. And then come back into the middle. We're going to swap the feet over, so we just keep the even balance between the hips. Remember, if you're in your cobbler's pose, your Vajrasana pose, then we're just going to leave the feet where they are. Sit nice and tall, and as you exhale, twist to the right. Look over the right shoulder if you can. And again, try and use this to get as much movement through the spine as possible. And then as you inhale, come back into the center, reaching the left arm up, and as you exhale, take it over to the right. Push back through that right hip. Use the space that you've got to stretch out through the left side body. Or we can start to draw the belly in, the core in. So thinking of the belly button coming into the spine and into the back of the ribs. Just giving us a little bit of extra support. And then release, come back into the center. Twisting, we look towards the right knee, rounding through the spine. And then again, we're just reaching the arms out as far as we can. Back into that left hip again, just find that nice stretch on the left side of the back, maybe noticing something in the left hip as well. And then we're sitting up, planting the left hand on the floor, right ear to right shoulder, bring the hand in just to give you that added little stretch. And then drop the chin to the chest. Good, round back up, and then come on to all fours. So we've got the knees into the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Again, go diagonally through the space, go forwards, go backwards. Make the most of what you've got. Press through the fingers and the palms, press through the shins and the tops of the feet. We're going to exhale, squeeze the belly in, use that pressure to push the back up. Breathe in, turn the tailbone up, draw the shoulders back. So breathing out, squeezing the belly up. Breathing in, pulling the shoulders back, letting the belly go. So just firing the core up each time. I'm going to go for one more. And then come back into your seated position. And we're going to take a little boat pose. So breathe out, squeeze the belly in, tuck the tailbone under, start to lift the feet up. So remember, we're using the core, not just leaning through the back, we round through the lower back. And then again, we can start to just play with as much room as we've got. Good, find the backs of the legs, come back into just a comfortable seated position. Breathe in, take the shoulders up, roll the shoulders back. Shoulders coming up, and then releasing. Inhale, and exhale. One more. Okay, come to your eagle arm. So we're going to cross the right arm underneath the left. Backs of the arms and the hands come together, or maybe we wrap through the wrists as well. Bring the feet back out in front of you. Squeeze the belly in, tuck the tailbone under. Lift back up to that boat pose. As you exhale, seeing if you can round through the back a little bit more. Taking it towards the floor, push the feet away. Inhale, squeeze back in. So exhale. So maybe you can come or cross a full mat. Maybe it's just a small movement. But we're just using the core while we get a little stretch through the shoulders as well. And having these arms wrapped around each other is really going to challenge our balance a little bit more. If you need it, then we have to let the arms go and find our balance. Good, one more. Take it down. And then just take a little hug of the knees. Good, we're going to try that on the other side. So this time we're bringing the right arm underneath the left arm underneath the right. Again, backs of the arms and the hands together, or we can come into that full wrap. So even we all get mixed up on what side we've done. All right, okay, breathe out, squeeze the belly in, tuck a little tuck under with the tailbone, take the feet up. We're coming back into that boat pose. I mean, we can just stay here. This is going to challenge and work our core. Or we can start to just see and explore our space as we breathe out, stretch out, breathe in, come back in. Just being mindful of the back, making sure we don't just lean the shoulders back. We keep that tuck under, that little scoop with the body. And release. This time, just come into a backwards or a reverse tabletop. Breathe out, squeeze the belly in, squeeze the core, the glutes in, lift the hips up, let the head come back, open out through the front of the body. And then release the hips down. Cross the left foot in, or the right foot in front of the left. Squeeze the knees down, lift the hips up again. Good, swap sides. We bring the right foot in with the left foot in front. Exhale, squeeze the knees down. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the chest. And release it, come back. Bring yourself round into your tabletop. position. So obviously if we were thinking of yoga in that tiny space, it's going to be a little bit more shuffling, a little bit more moving around to help us get from one pose to another. When you're ready, see if you can walk the hands forwards and come to puppy dog pose. So elbows coming down to the floor, hips are staying up over the knees. Push the shoulder blades away from each other. So if you haven't got quite enough space to stretch the arms out, just find that cow position and allow the body to arch there. Thinking of those muscles in the lower back working to move in towards each other, arching the back. And then lift yourself back up, pull the knees in, send the hips back, come to child's pose. Keep the knees in nice and close towards each other if you can. Hands trying to come around by the feet. If that doesn't feel right, we can leave the, perhaps make a little cushion with the hands over the head, for the head. And then inhale. Bring yourself back up onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up. Come to your downward facing dog. So it might be quite a narrow downward dog than or a more narrow downward dog than we normally look for. Press through the fingers and the palms. Lift up through the elbows, the shoulders, all the way through the spine to the hips. And then we're opening out down through the legs to the heels. Give yourself that little pedal out if you need it. And see how far the heels come down to the floor. Don't worry if they don't touch, even if you can't straighten through the legs. Okay, good. Walk your hands and your feet in towards each other. And we're going to bring the feet underneath the hips. Little bend in the knees. We can take a rag doll. Just allow the head to stretch the spine. And then when you're ready, exhale, squeeze the belly in, round all the way up. Come up to the crown of the head, loop the shoulders back. Clasp the hands behind you, or support the back if you need it. Squeeze the glutes in, lift the chest. Nice big stretch through the front. Think about that sort of, how you'd work through the body if you were lying down in cobra. Exhale, release. So we're going to take the chin to the chest, round down towards the floor, coming all the way down towards the mat. Take a little bend here in the knees if you need it. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. As you inhale, send the hips back, lift up through the arms, coming to chair. As you exhale, we're going to take the weight through one leg, take the other leg up. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, swap sides. Inhale, take it down, and then exhale, push all the way up to Tadasana. Take the hands back behind you, try to clasp them together if you can. Again, find that standing cobra position or extended Tadasana. Exhale, release it, chin to chest, roll down through the spine. So we get the movement through the vertebrae as we come all the way towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, chair pose. If you can't keep the arms out in front, then bring them into a prayer position. Exhale, weight through one leg, heel toe up. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, swap sides. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, push all the way up to standing. Inhale, take the hands behind you, cross them, or clasp them in a way that feels a little funky. Lift up through to that standing cobra. And then exhale, release it, chin to chest. Roll down towards the floor. Curling all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, come to chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, press down through one foot, lift the heel and toes up on the other side. Inhale, take the foot down. Exhale, balance through the other leg. Exhale, push up to standing. Hands behind you. Lift up with the chest. Exhale, release. Chin to chest, roll all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Little bend in the knees, squeeze the belly in, round all the way up. Reach the arms up. Squeeze the belly in. Take the weight down through the left leg, take the right leg up. Keep reaching the fingers up. See if you can push the knee over the toes. Inhale, lift. Take the leg down. Swap sides. Keep the belly in. So we're coming into like a one-leg chair now with our balance. Inhale, take it all the way up. Release the hands behind you. Clasp them behind your back. Lift your chest. Standing cobra. Exhale, come down towards the floor. Chin to chest, rounding through the back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, little bend in the knees, round all the way back up through the spine. Reach the arms up, squeeze the core in. Take the right heel and toes up. Bend, take that little duck squat, and press. Take the foot down. As you breathe out, bend. Press up. Foot returns to the floor. Hands behind you. Squeeze the glutes and lift the chest. We're just going to take one more to either side. So release, chin to chest, round all the way to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, little bend in the knees, round all the way up through the spine. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Keep the core drawn in. Press through the left foot. Take a right leg up. Take a little dip. And lift. Swap sides. Take a little dip. And lift. Release the hands, release the foot. Clasp the hands behind you. Lift the chest. Good. Come back to standing. Okay, so we're going to then take the feet as wide as we can. So you're kind of thinking about making a bit of a diamond, pyramid shape or pose with the legs. So we're going to come into a lunge position first. We're going to push the knee over the ankle. Press back through the heel. Reach so if we say we've got the right leg in front, we're going to reach the right arm up. Take it back behind us, and the left hand's going to reach up. So we're trying to get the fingers to clasp. If that's a little bit of a problem, then grab your strap or a towel, whatever you've got, maybe it's a sock, and we're just going to hold the strap round the back so that we can clasp the hands there. So we've got the front knee bent. If you've got room to take a full lunge, take a full lunge, but if you haven't, you're just working with the space that you have. Point the elbow up and then see if you can lift the chest. Maybe you feel a stronger stretch then in the top of that left leg or the back leg. Then as you exhale, straighten the front leg. Big breath in, and then we're going to breathe out, fold at the hips. See if you can keep those hands clasped behind you for the moment. So lengthen out through the spine. Then gently let the fingers go. Take the hands down towards the floor, or if you need it, you've got a block there for support. And we're going to come into that pyramid fold. Breathe out, squeeze the belly in, hands to hips, lift you up with the chest. Okay, good. Spin your feet round so you face the other way. So if we've got the left leg in front, it's the left arm reaching up. Reach the fingers back behind you, reach the right arm up again. See if you can find the hands, even if it's just one or two fingers to hold on to, otherwise use your strap. Bend your front knee, push the knee over the ankle. Don't let it come past, because we are holding this lunge for a few breaths. Push back through the back heel. See if maybe you can take a little lift up with the chest, working into your back hip again. And then gently straighten the front leg, fold forwards. Lengthen out through the crown of the head. Let the hands go, see if you can come deeper into that fold. It's a nice big stretch through the backs of the legs then now. Hands to hips, breathe out. Lift all the way back up. And then we're going to step back in the feet to bring the feet together. So see if you can come back down then towards the floor and into that tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders. Press through the feet. So we're going to come into some push-ups. Again, if you can take a full plank or half plank position and you're just working in a narrow space rather than sort of like a squarer space, then you can step back into a plank. When you're ready, breathe out, draw the belly in, squeeze the elbows into your side, take the head towards the floor, breathe in, push up. So breathe out, lower towards the floor, or work through more of that chaturanga position if you want. Breathe in, left. Just work on pulling the elbows into the sides of the ribs. Try for one more. And then come back into your child's pose. This time we're taking the knees a little bit wider if that feels okay. Folding forwards. Put a cushion underneath the head if you need it, because this time we're going to bring the hands together so we come into a shark spin position. Press the elbows into the floor and bring the arms around the back of the head. Just stretch through the arms after the push-ups or chaturangas. And then release. And bring yourself all the way up to standing, to kneeling, sorry. So we're going to finish with a little stretch through the hips. Just going to find a figure 4 stretch on either side, and then we're going to come into a relaxation. So we're coming down towards the floor, just finding that reverse pigeon or figure 4 stretch. Bring your right shin onto your left thigh. Keep the right foot flexed and just squeeze the knee in towards your chest. Close the eyes here if you want. And then swap sides, bringing the left shin onto the right thigh again. Keep the foot flexed, hug the knee in as far as it will go. Taking those big deep breaths, following the flow of the breath with that internal third eye. That space just at the top of the nose between the eyebrows. And then release, take the feet back down to the floor. So we're going to finish with our legs up against the wall, Vagrita Karami, for our relaxation. So if you're already up, it could be a door, it could be a cupboard, maybe you're against the sofa and you're just going to bring your feet up over the sofa. If you have got a little bit of wall space, that maybe you can just move towards. What we want to do, if you're using your mat, is just bring your mat up to the flat surface, if you've got one, that you're going to stretch up against. Bring yourself up to the wall as close, or your cupboard door, or your wherever it is that you're going to lean against. And then lower yourself down, shifting yourself around so you've got your hips as close towards the wall as you can, and your legs then are kind of come up the mat. Now that isn't always necessarily great for your back, so it might be that you need to walk the feet down, keep the knees bent. Maybe you even want to shuffle your hips a little bit further away from you if you find that eases out the hamstrings or the lower back. Just let the arms either rest on your belly or they can flop to the side, closing your eyes. So this is a nice way to get a little inversion. Maybe you actually want to lift the hips a little higher, so if you have a block or a cushion, you can just place that underneath the hips, just to bring the hips a little higher than the heart, as well as the legs and the feet. So we're relaxing here, so we'll try to let the mind switch off. We just take some big deep breaths in. Again, that third eye point. The chakra point on the forehead is just following breath through the chest into the belly. And all the blood flows from the feet back down through the legs, back to the heart. And then when you're ready, start to move your fingers, your toes, your hands and your feet. Walking your feet down, so you just press the soles of the feet into the floor. Stretch the arms back, press through the feet, stretch through the hands. And then release the arms down by your side. If you've had a block or a cushion or anything underneath your hips, we're just going to move that out of the way. Take a little hug of the knees. Maybe you're going to have a little rock there. And then just slowly bring yourself around. Just being mindful of anything that's around you as you come around onto the floor. Push yourself into a comfortable seated position, wherever that might be. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, relax the shoulders. And we're just going to breathe in, reach the arms up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to your center. So you just bow your head to your fingers, sealing your practicing and in acknowledging your hard work, your effort, taking the time for yourself on the mat here. Finishing with namaste. Fab, well done. I hope you liked that, and I hope you found a way to make the most of your available space. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up, but leave any questions or comments below. And I look forward to seeing you on the mat in the future, so make sure you hit that subscribe button now so you know when our next class comes out. All right, take care now. Bye.